Horror House is live. Hopefully, I'm not muted, and neither is them. And I didn't bring
I
English
believe.
with me today. Hello, Tim. Welcome in. And it's time to talk about horror
Well,
movies. So let's talk about horror movies and horror news. But first, I'm jumping the gun.
floor is yours.
I'm just putting our names up there so people know who we are. But now they're gone. Now we're men of mystery once again.
Now no one will ever know.
But now they can
No
find
one
us
will ever
again.
know.
Up top. I'll leave those on for a minute.
Somebody's furiously writing down right now, like, oh, at one. How many E's is that? 1, 2, 3, 6. Motherfucker, 6.
Whenever I would
E's.
look you up on Twitter. I kept getting sweetness with 4 E's. Completely different Dave.
Fuck that guy.
But let's get rid of those. And let's talk about some horror news. Let's get into it. Dave?
Yeah.
Give me news.
Okay. I'm going to start off with just a little bit of news about Horror Hound Weekend. Jeff and I went last year in Indianapolis. They just had Horror Hound Weekend in March in Cincinnati. Coming back in September back to Cincinnati. It's not coming to Indianapolis this year, it doesn't look like. But Robert England is going to be there. So, um, dude can't be around forever. But he's going to be at Horror House again, or Horror Hound Weekend again. So that is some cool news.
But not in makeup, because that was a
Um,
one-time Chicago thing. Like 8 years ago, something like that. I'm like, Fonda, do you want to go? You can meet Robert? And she's like, no. I don't even understand. But that's interesting. Is there any other
other
guests yet?
Yes. So the one of the girls, the lead, not the vampire, but the lead female from Abigail, that plays the good girl, the hero ish. If there is a hero, I'm not saying there is or not. Spoiler alert.
You can't say something and then say spoiler alert after the thing.
Oh, god damn it, don't work that way. Melissa Barrera going to be there. Um, and two of the dudes, I think the two that play the brothers from Silent Night, Deadly Night, OG,
The
have
little
announced that
kids?
they are going to be there. They're not little kids anymore,
I
Chris.
mean, in the movie, the little
Time has
kids
passed. I, I, I don't know.
at the
It
beginning.
just came out today, so I really looked them up. I just thought, oh, that's kind of interesting.
If it's not Garbage Day, it's not
If it's
Garbage
not
Day guy.
Garbage Day, man.
But even then, I
Yeah,
don't want to meet
Garbage
Garbage Day guy either. I rated Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 pretty low. It's just a clip movie. It's bullshit.
It
I
is.
said
It
it.
is. It's like those
I said it.
very special episodes of this 80s sitcom where they just, oh, they're trapped in an elevator and they talk about what has already happened
Yeah. If you cut
previously in the show.
the scenes out that were new for that, I mean, you'd have a very strong case of why does this exist?
What's going on? You
uh,
basically would have a garbage day scene, breaking out of the psych place and the garbage day scene, and that was it. Is I think the
yeah.
new stuff.
The We talked about this forever ago. I couldn't even tell you when, but there is a Faces of Death remake, reboot, um by the guys that did the Netflix movie called Cam, which I've heard about vaguely. I think it's, listen, word of mouth, read stuff on the internet. Is it mid? I don't know. That's what I would believe. not watched it, but these are the people that are making it, and it has got a rating now. It's actually made, I guess, and it's got a rating R. It's rated R. Faces of Death 2025 maybe is rated R.
Star.
4 faces. I don't know. Well, how do you make a Faces of Death and you're like R? It's rated R. There's no fucking way. It's so weird.
If it got rated at all, it's not a true in spirit remake of Faces.
Let me tell you a quick rundown of what they said a while ago that the story is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be. Yes, there's a story, Jeff. I don't get it either. It will be on a.
He had a puzzled look on his face.
Yeah,
yes.
I felt that. It will center on a female moderator of a YouTube-like website whose job is to like curate this footage of violence and offensive stuff, and it becomes a thing of, are these things that are happening real or are they fake? And then I don't know. I don't know about this movie at all. The idea is cool, but not for Faces of Death, which, fellas, I don't know if it's gonna be that good.
I'm at this point. I'm just gonna say until I see something that changed my mind, I'm out.
Maybe they'll do something with the name. I just us people from that era know Faces of Death, and that is not what Faces of Death was.
Right.
I traumatized my best friend Daryl Oliver with Traces of Death.
Oh, that's even worse. That Traces is the worst. Jeff, did you ever watch Traces of Death?
No, I haven't watched Faces of Death. I know about Faces of Death, but
Traces is like Faces of Death, like upped to like the most extreme level you could ever imagine. Shows like war footage and like cartel footage, and it also showed some piercing stuff for that was interesting to watch, but then it goes right back to the death stuff, and then it's like, okay.
There was a sex change operation.
Oh,
I don't. It might not have been the first one. It might have been the second one. There was a sex change operation, so they turned a dude's Audi into an innie, just fucked up. Well, I mean, to see like.
Oh, you're talking Traces now, still.
Yeah.
Traces. I think it was Traces.
Yeah.
In the first Traces, though, they did have the. He was in the Northeast somewhere, Maine or New Hampshire or something, like the politician who got caught in his secretary taking bribes. So he calls a big press conference.
Oh, yeah.
At the press conference, he announced his resignation, and he pulls out this big manila envelope. And he hands out like severance checks to the people on his staff, and then he pulls out a pistol, and everyone's like, "Oh!" He's like, "It's okay, it's okay. Everybody, stay calm. This could hurt somebody." And then swallows the fucking barrel and blows the back of his fucking head out. And that actually became the inspiration for the '90s song "Hey Man, Nice Shot." So
to tie that back to horror, and I've said this before, it's one of the few trivia things I got. The singer of Filter, that was Filter, I think, that did that song, he's the brother of the T-1000 in Terminator 2. And there you go. We'll clip that and put it on TikTok. Make money.
I'm just a flat circle.
Tim says, "Is Faces of Death in Fortnite?" Not yet. If it ever is, they're scraping the bottom of the barrel to get collabs and people playing. Yeah, I'm just really confused about this remake. I don't know what you fucking call it. Dave, hit me with another news.
This one is a quick one and pretty. Terrifier 3 has a release date, October 11th, which is a little bit earlier than they originally were looking at, like 25th, like the week before Halloween.
Couple weeks.
They moved it. They moved it up a couple weeks, which I think is a good sign that that it's going to one stick around a little bit longer, and that they really hope that they have something here.
Hmm.
I've seen like one picture of art, and the art dressed as Santa and wearing Santa's face around his neck.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
and
Is it a Christmas Terrifier? Is that what?
that's what I have heard all along. So
Okay. I'm not that big on Terrifier. Like I don't know that I've finished one of them. They're just not that uh special to me. It's just like the gore is cool and stuff, but like I want to see more than just the gore. I need a little bit of meat for my thing. But that's just me. That's just me. Jeff, how do you feel about
uh,
Art and Terrifier?
I saw the first one, and I haven't seen the second one yet. First one wasn't bad, but I agree with you. There needs to be something a little bit more than just hey, creepy clown.
Yeah.
if well, the second one has some story, and
Okay.
I mean the first one has some story.
Yeah.
What if Chris Jericho is guaranteed to be in 3? He's not. Oh, I'm not breaking news here. If Jericho is in 3, does that make it more intriguing or less? Or nah, never mind.
Jericho's too much right now. He's oversaturated. I every week I see him on TV. I'm like, I wish he'd go on fucking tour with his band, so I don't have to see him every Wednesday.
Right around.
And he's for Jericho is a whole lot in Terrifier 2. And when I say a whole lot, it looks like he fell off his diabetes medicine.
I don't think Ryan Reynolds is in 3, but I would. That would help me watch it.
Now that's a man.
We also have a confirmation or an announcement that The Pope's Exorcist is getting a sequel. Not to be confused with the other exorcism movie that Russell Crowe is just announced to do, but a sequel to the one before that. So I'm thinking Russell Crowe really don't like the devil. I
heard he's ultra anti-devil.
What if Russell Crowe was the new Jesus?
Better than Cavill.
Could we get a Caviezel? Or are you talking about Henry Cavill? Henry Cavill could be Jesus too, but
well, he did play Superman's dad, so he could be better than Superman and better than Jesus.
He's Russell Crowe.
I want to see
the Pope's Exorcist.
I want to see the ultimate Russell Crowe movie, which is Russell Crowe is possessed by the devil of the Pope while he fights road rage as a gladiator.
There you go.
The Crowiverse. Let's do it. And you can just do it. Is it for real that they're making a Gladiator sequel? Is that real, or is that just news that keeps coming up so they can drum up interest and shit? Because I see it every so often. I'm like, is that real or is that bullshit? And I don't know. Do you hear all this traffic outside my house right now? Somebody was mowing, and now I think they may be racing.
Oh, nice.
We're getting ready to.
You didn't even know.
No. I have one last piece of news, Dave, that you also have regarding a new movie. So, do you want to talk about that, or do you want to talk about something before that?
Go for that, and I'll do quick hit on Abigail, and then my last piece of news.
Okay, so the director of Mandy from was it 2019 or 2017 maybe? I forget. But
since COVID, time has no meaning.
Panos Kamasutra has created. If you've ever seen Mandy, I used to recommend Mandy all the time because it's just fucking out there and bizarre, and it made me wish I was on drugs, quite frankly. quite frankly, shit. Okay. But it's a fucking crazy movie. So here's his first new one since Mandy. And it's some kind of 80s themed vampire extravaganza thing. It's got Kristen Stewart and Oscar Isaac attached currently. We'll see if they stick around for the craziness that will become Flesh of the Gods, it's called. This is what he says. Like LA itself, Flesh of the Gods inhabits the liminal realm between fantasy and nightmare, both propulsive and hypnotic. I spelled hypnotic wrong. Flesh will take you on a hot rod joyride deep into the glittering heart of hell. And I'm like, is he writing his VHS description on the back already? He's really going for it.
He is going near the bank.
I'm intrigued because Mandy was a trip.
It was wild. It was colorful. It was.
Oh my god, it's crazy.
It was something else. I felt like I had flashbacks watching it. That's how trippy it was.
Jeff, have
It
you
was
watched
good,
Mandy?
and I looked.
Is that the one with Nicolas
I
Cage?
looked
Yes.
I tried
That's
watching
great.
it. I could not get into it.
It's I can understand.
It takes a little.
It is just bizarre and everywhere.
They spaced out and was like, "Where am I at?
Yeah.
What's going on in this movie?"
It is a.
I feel like it pays off.
I'm curious what he does next. If it's more in that kind of just completely crazy vein, or what?
Did you see? Did you see who the screenwriter was?
No.
The screenwriter was, what's his name? I didn't write it down. Andrew Walterman something. He's got 3 names. It's the guy who screen wrote Seven. What's
Really?
in the Box 7?
Really?
Yeah. So those styles would not seem to like mesh. So let's see what happens.
I don't. We will see. Has he done any other things besides Seven? I don't think he's done a lot besides Seven, right? Or I may be thinking of the Fight Club guy. Sorry, super
I
fans.
don't think he's done a
know.
lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's done a whole lot. So
I'm curious. I want to check it out.
I think it sounds super interesting. I'm into it. I like K-Stew. Underwater a couple years ago
Dude,
was
yes.
like one of my movies of the year.
Absolutely. Underwater is
great.
fantastic. There wasn't there something
underrated.
else? There was some other horror thing
so
she's
underrated.
done recently. Maybe I may be daydreaming. Let me know if you're watching this later. What that could possibly be.
I'm sure.
What is your final?
I do want to go to
final news.
before my final thing, because I told you I want to hit you with the description of this minute. We did go to see Abigail over the weekend. And it is a must recommend for me. It was good. It was entertaining. It has some tie to Ready or Not.
Yes.
It's written by the same dude.
I think it's direct, isn't it? Not directed by the duo.
Directed, okay, maybe it's directed by the same dude as well. Yeah. Let's see.
The same 2 dudes. They're duo. They're a team. Their powers combined delivers the horror.
Us 2 men will combine our powers, giving us the strength of 2 men.
Our powers combined will be the directorial power of 1 man. Sorry, I'm sorry. But they might as well say it now. Like they did the original VHS. If you've seen that, I really liked the first couple of those. They weren't the greatest ever, but they did Scream 2022. They did Scream 5, I don't know, one of them.
The last 2.
And then obviously Abigail. They did. Was it Southbound Tales or was it am I thinking should I know the cover of it? It's like a big pentagram on there.
That's Southbound. Yeah, that's super kind of weird. I kind of like that.
Yeah, I
Did
mean,
you watch that? Did you
I've
like it?
I've seen it, but
It's
it's been a
not
minute.
not the greatest fucking cinematic piece ever.
Yeah,
But I felt like it was fairly original.
they all tied
It's a
together.
kind of anthology. So it's kind of anthology tales kind of tied together. So I always like that.
Yeah,
But Abigail is definitely a watch. It was really good. Spoiler alert. There you go, Chris. I said it before I said it.
killed it. You killed it.
Abigail, the little girl ballerina, is a vampire. She's Dracula's daughter.
Now I've seen some comments
Ooh.
online that say that they shouldn't have revealed that in the trailers. How do you feel now that you've seen it?
I going in before the movie started, I actually think I said that to Stella and Jackie. Like, this is a case of trailer diarrhea. We got trailer diarrhea these days. They do put too much in the fucking trailers.
Yeah.
Stella, there was one twist it's not a great twist, but there's a little bit of a twist. And then they retwist, and then they unretwist. So it kind of goes. Whoop, whoop.
Well, you know.
And Stella didn't see it coming because she didn't see the trailer. So they kind of gave the first part of that twist away in the trailer, and she's like, "Oh, I did. That's why I don't watch trailers." Like, you're so fucking smart. So, but it was good. Even with the trailer showing too much, there was plenty of stuff in the movie that was good. It's not scary. It's not fucking scaring anybody. This ain't Hereditary. It's a ballerina vampire. Oh, I definitely think it was good. And when we get into the meat tonight, I will talk about the ties, the in movie ties between Ready or Not and Abigail. The ones that I saw, what I saw, and there's supposed to be one that I didn't catch, but also it's meant to be like a blink and you miss it. And it's not, I guess one of the directors, one of the two, or maybe if they share a brain, like one speaking through the other one, said like, "Oh, this is in the movie," but it doesn't mean the movies are in the same universe. It's just a little nod to another one of our movies. But then there's stuff in the movie that tells me like, oh, maybe it is the same universe. So I definitely recommend it.
Okay. Nice. I mean, that completely played into what we're watching tonight. But your final thing.
My final. So I talked to some budding filmmakers last week, and we were hoping to get them on the show tonight. Did not happen. Maybe we can do that again. We've had
0 out of 10.
Slashers.
I'm rating you now.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are listening, which you probably are not, you got a chance to redeem yourself by coming on the show at a future time. We did have Dan Brousseau from Nickel City Slashers on to talk about his movie, and so we've had a little bit of success in that realm. I'm
no
reaching
Charles
out
Band
to
yet.
some. I'm reaching out to a new company. They're trying to make a movie. It's a Friday the 13th fan film called Neon Fear. I told you guys this was coming, but I didn't tell you what the setup for the movie is. Setup for the movie is it's set in the year 2049. Last humans on Earth are being hunted down by Jason Voorhees replicants. So they must do the only thing they can do. A scrappy band of humans goes back in time to bring back the only person who can fight the replicants, the real Jason Voorhees.
Terminator.
So, who? It's.
I don't know what to say.
I'll be honest. Is that what you thought I was going to tell you the movie was?
No, not at all.
No.
I thought maybe it's going to be set in Vegas.
I was really focused on the boat from the original that she was in, that Jason jumped out, that Ari Lyman jumped out, first Jason jumped out and jumped into the I was trying to really tie it to the boat. But I mean, we've seen Jason in the future before. Jason X, the very beginning, is
X,
maybe the
X.
worst looking Jason of all time. Not Jason, not Uber Jason, because he's kind of cool for the futuristic Jason
Uber
vibes.
Jason
But
is
the
cool.
Jason at the beginning of the movie that they go to, does he thaw out? Cronenberg's in it at the beginning. But
Yeah, they
God,
have to thaw him out.
they didn't put any makeup on Kane Hodder for that. He looked garbage. Jason versus Alien. I would be more interested in that, really.
Yeah.
Instead of Jason versus Jason versus Jason versus Jason versus Jason. I don't know how many Jasons they're working with here.
The working title is My Three Jasons.
Oh my God. Could they do My Two Dads theme song? You can
I hope
count
so.
on me. Remember anybody? Nobody?
That is going on the spreadsheet. Every episode that we talk about an 80s sitcom theme song,
My Two Dads.
it goes on the spreadsheet.
Well, stick around because I've still got 2 more drinks to finish. 3 because I just opened this one. I was really thinking the boat was oddball enough that it would have got me in the ballpark of it. Like maybe Christmas lights on a boat, a neon boat for Jason. Ari Lyman, starring Ari Lyman, Jason. But I wasn't close. Jeff, did I ever tell you my Ari Lyman story?
No. You tell.
I forget. I think I've talked about this on the show before. But oh my God. You will be old by the time you finish that very old Barton. But anyways, Ari Lyman has a band called First Jason where he plays the guitar with a bass player and a drummer. I'm like, they could really benefit from a guitar player in this situation. So I recorded guitar on a song of his and emailed it to him. And I'm like, please don't sue me. I just was fooled around. Here you go. And he was really cool. And then Dave has shit on Ari Lyman ever since we started the show.
and he may be the coolest dude in the world. So I hope he has a good sense of humor because, yeah, I have shit on him a little bit here, but
like all of their songs are about Jason in some way or the other, and it's fun. It's fun time.
What Chris technically did with that is the first Stitch.
Kind of. You're not wrong.
I'm going to take this that already exists, and I'm going to put some guitar to it.
Yeah. He invited me to come play with them at a convention thing. Like, wherever around, you should. And then I've never talked to him since then. That's been like 15 years ago.
Oh.
So
hit him up, bring him on the show. Like, hey, remember me?
There's probably so many First Jason fans now that he ain't got time. He ain't got time for me. One of the original First Jason fans. Speaking of First Jason, it's time to talk about Ready or Not.
Segue.
If you force your way into a segue, it's still a segue, right? I mean, that still counts.
Still is a segue.
But here's your spoiler warning for Ready or Not. From now until the end, spoilers. So if you don't want to know anything about Ready or Not, Dave looks like Bigfoot right now. Dave?
Bigfoot.
I'm in my blurry era.
Oh. That sounds like a Beyonce album too, or Taylor Swift or something. The blurry era.
That's a Taylor Swift. Yeah. I was bitching before you got on tonight about my fucking internet connection. We're going fiber.
Can I get some Yas Queens in chat? Yes, Blurry Queen. Can I get maybe a station? There we go. iStation? That you're going to get sued by Apple for that kind of talk. I'm sure they have some kind of copyright for everything that has something. iHorror, is that a thing? Could we write
probably
that?
sue the shit out of Iodine.
and it's like the phone gets like stuck to your face and you're trying to pull it off and the skin is pulling off, and that's the whole. We'll start with that as the premise. I don't know how you work that into a story. There's my idea. Or what did I say? I don't know. Anyway, it's time to talk about Ready or Not. But duo directors, I don't think they wrote this. I could be mistaken. But Matt Bettinelli, Olpen, and Tyler Gillette. I don't know how far off I am on some of these names, but probably pretty far off. But they've done a lot of more recent horror. The I don't know if they did the latest Scream, but they've did a couple Screams. They've did, which honestly doesn't raise them in my graces any. I don't know what
Jackie likes the Screams. He likes the new Screams.
I think I watched the one before the latest one, and I was like, this is not for me, and I'm out, and I have no intention to watch any more of them, unless the Ravel demands it. Then maybe we can crowdfund me watching a Scream movie. I'll record the whole thing. I'll do like a reaction channel on YouTube.
All right, hit us up with the super chats. Oh, I thought the last one, the most recent Scream, I thought the opening was back to what Wes Craven intended when he first made Scream. If we remember back all those years ago, Scream was meant to be a meta commentary on slasher and kind of take all these tropes and kind of poke fun at them and play on them and do something unique with a slasher movie. And here now we're 6 in, and it's just a straight slasher movie.
Yeah.
So we've lost all of that. We've lost all that. Everything that made the first one good, because the first one is good, and we've lost all that.
I think the sequel is okay. 3 is a little weird.
Yeah, I think 2 is okay. 3 is I'm out.
Yeah.
But 1 and 2 are okay. Open for the most recent one, I thought was great. I thought it was a return to something. You had the Scream guy, you had the Ghostface. He kills a bitch in the alley. He goes home, and I thought, oh, they're really doing something. Like this time, we're going to know who Ghostface is from the start. He just took his mask off. He's talking to his buddy, like, "Yeah, I got that bitch, man. Fuck that bitch. I got her. Yeah." Then Ghostface tracks him down and kills him. So it really seemed like we had something going on, but it never went anywhere outside of that. It never really got any deeper. Yeah, there's a surprise. Yeah, there's
a twist.
Alert, more than one. Yeah, there's a twist.
That's what I desire in movies.
That's why M. Night Shyamalan is on my Mount Rushmore.
I was looking at something. I forget what I think I was just scrolling through Prime videos. Yes, that's exactly what I was doing. I forget the name of the movie. It was ripping off Tales from the Dark Side, I think. I think it was Tales from the something other side. It was real weird, but it was clearly a ripoff of Tales from the Dark Side.
Tales from the wrong side of the tracks.
It might as well have been. But the description was something along the lines of a collection of stories with twists. And that was the description for the whole thing. And I'm like, your whole point for advertising this is that it has a twist. That's so on point for what we complain about. And then I watched it, and it was the greatest thing I ever seen. John Cena was in it. Oh, no. It was I watched that Ricky Stenicki movie. That's what I watched. I didn't watch sorry. That's on me.
Okay. I'm going to lose it right now. Peacemaker was great. Ricky Stenicki looks good. I really like John Cena.
The parts with John Cena are fantastic. The rest of it, I could take
in 8 years, he's going to come up Ultra MAGA. Trump will be dead 5 years, and he'll be Ultra MAGA, and ruin any goodwill he's built up, a la Rock. But
I don't know. He's I love the comedy, man. The scene of comedy. Um,
Yeah.
Back to Ready or Not. Character wise, there is especially the gray haired lady is some Burton esque, Tim
Yes.
Burton esque characters that took me out of it a little bit. I'm like, go full Burton or just don't. But like they had like some of these caricatures of these people that were just, I'm like, this is almost a Tim Burton movie with these characters. And Dave, are you frozen?
Am I frozen? I might be.
Oh.
My computer is not having it tonight. I don't know. I'm struggling.
We'll get through it. We'll get through it together.
I'll keep drinking, and
That's all you can
I
do.
think that'll help it. And I've shut down as many windows as I could here. I'm a boomer. I have 52 windows open. So, but I'm sure that's not the problem.
You have 52 windows open? Oh my god.
Stuck with you. I got 3. Got 3. I thought she was great, man. She's so fucking mean.
Yeah.
She is. I did some scientific research. This was not movie research. This was scientific research.
Interesting.
That woman, her name is Nicki
Minaj.
Minaj. What?
It's pronounced Minaj.
Minaj.
I know who you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
Was that?
Minaj. That is not true. That is actually not true because this lady who plays in this movie, the evil aunt,
Oh, her.
is scientifically, you can't argue with the science. Yeah, she is the #1 cause of erectile dysfunction in America.
The Burton hair did something for me.
She just,
I'll be honest.
oh, okay. She is fucking evil, man. I thought she did great.
She is evil.
I thought she played it. I thought she played very well. I thought the acting overall was pretty good. The
Yeah.
only one, if I had a problem with anyone, holy shit, I can't even scroll the Ready or Not IMDb page right now. A problem with anyone, it was the patriarch at the family, Henry Czerny, aka Tony.
You know, at one
the dad.
point, I didn't realize it at first, but this is my science look, by the way. The butler, like guy that looks exactly like the dad. There was a point in the movie where I must have missed something of him prior to that, but like Samara Weaving Grace is in when she has the gun or something, and the whole time I'm like, oh, she's gonna fuck the dad up right now. She's gonna mess with, and then to come to find out like 5-10 minutes later, I'm like, that wasn't the dad. That whole fucking shit was the fucking not the dad. And that's
Butler,
when
yeah.
I got to take the fucking thing out because I'm not a scientist. I'm a dumbass. And for the rest of the movie, I'm like, why did you make them look the same? You obviously made the ant with the spiky white hair. You couldn't have made one of those guys look a little different.
He got face got burned, so
that is about the yeah.
Like, oh, we can't tell these people apart. Here, we'll burn your face. Okay.
But yeah.
Fun fact: the butler dude is in Infinity Pool.
Who was he?
He's Dr. Bob Modan. So I'm gonna have to go back and figure out who he is because I don't recognize him by name. Minaj, Dr. Bob Minaj.
That sounds weird. Anyways,
the dad, who I thought was a terrible, he's not a bad actor. Mission Impossible, the original. He's a spoiler alert for a 1996 Mission Impossible movie starring Tom Cruise. He's the
John Voight
agency guy who turns against Tom Cruise and his team. He's also in Clear and Present Danger, 1994. So I mean, he's not a terrible actor.
Oh my god. Bob Minaj
Who's in
has
the
really
Fonz?
ruined me for some reason. Bob Minaj. Because it sounds like
Henry
knob.
Minaj.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need
Robin
it.
Knob Knob. Dad is in a couple episodes of Falling Skies. You love that TV show. He starred in the A-Team movie in 2010.
That's Liam Neeson.
That's Henry Minaj.
Bob Minaj.
So he's been around. Bob Minaj. Bob Minaj is the butler. Henry Minaj is the dad. You're getting them mixed up.
Oh.
Okay. Easy to see. Easy to see.
So if you combine Nicki Minaj and
don't...
Liam Neeson, you get Ready or Not, Dad? Is that correct? Science.
You have to throw in...
I can put my science pin back on my... Oh, it goes on this side. I almost stabbed myself in the eye.
You have to sprinkle in a little Anna Taylor-Joy.
Oh.
That's where you get the Samara Weaving. Even though Samara Weaving's probably a little bit older.
I've got a whole section on the Katy Perry effect that we'll get into a little bit later. Jeff, do you know about the Katy Perry effect that I've talked about before?
No.
Well,
that similar to the...
Joe's not a big fan. Chris, you have to understand, Jeff is not a big fan of the show.
I could take Horror House podcast.
As soon as Jeff found horrors, he was like, No.
They only do Vincent Price when I'm on. This is bullshit. Which I can understand. I've only gotten one Cronenberg so far, so I put all of the Cronenberg into one episode.
I was going to say, in fairness, we did every aspect of Cronenberg's entire history.
Yeah, I haven't watched the racing car movie. Racing car? Fucking shit.
Dang old racing car.
Racing car?
Get out there. Get out there.
I can't keep the science pen. The science pen won't stick around longer than a couple minutes at a time. I might as well talk about it now, since we're kind of already here. But the Katy Perry effect goes back really to... We were talking about Cloverfield at the time, who Lizzie Kaplan, I want to say is her name. And the whole movie, I'm like, is that fucking Katy Perry? Is that Katy Perry in Cloverfield? And then I realized there's like 4 other people that look exactly like a 2010-ish brunette woman at the time. And it's Katy Perry, Lizzie Kaplan, Zoe Deschanel, and then like 17 other ones. And every time I'm like, is that Katy Perry? But now it's the Margot Robbie effect. I say that because she's had the more successful ventures, or I could say the Samara Weaving if she overtakes Margot Robbie at some point. But or is it Samara Weaving, or is it Margot Robbie, or is it Jamie Presley, or is it so and so? And then you go, the lower you get, you don't really know the names. You're like, but this is the same thing. But Samara Weaving at least has the... What was the name of the last Bill and Ted? Face the Music. She was in that, so she's in a Bill and Ted movie, so that's cool. Station!
She's got another horror movie coming out that sounds really cool. Azrael, which she plays a woman who is being chased by crazy people. So it's a totally new for her.
Now what?
Chris Rose.
I'm just dancing now.
Who? Sorry, I had to stop and take a drink.
Dave, I could count your pixels right now, I think. Nope, you're coming back. Oh, by the way, I thought of something earlier. Has nothing to do with Ready or Not, but occasionally, what if like Mothman was to appear on the screen somewhere, but then wasn't there for the whole time. Like,
See his butt.
yeah, I should have. What if Mothman's ass suddenly appeared?
Bounce a quarter off that
What
one.
if Mothman's ass suddenly appeared whenever you were near?
What if? What
Just
if?
like me.
What if?
Ray Carpenter.
I'm all for it.
Um, yeah,
When we get big and famous, that should be like a contest. Like, oh, tell us when the shiny hiney appears, and you could win an autographed science pencil from Chris.
yeah. It is an ink pen. Is it?
Oh,
It
a
is an
science
ink pen.
pen. Science pencils are for people who make mistakes. Chris,
Yes.
you're a real scientist. You don't admit mistakes.
Yes. And if I do maybe make a mistake, that's why we have a technical difficulty screen. Because then
Throw it up.
people will laugh at the joke and then forget what was just said. I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
I
Back-
think that's
Back to the movie. Jeff, what are some of your thoughts on this? You've been reserved all night. Let it go. All your thoughts.
I mean, it loses the scariness of it because it sticks so much to the comedy of the movie. So everyone's just reacting to each other. You get
Yeah.
the cousin's wife who just keeps shooting people. And it's like, does that count? No, it doesn't count.
Are we done? I think that's about where I'd be sitting personally. Like if we were involved in this, I'd be like, that's one dead person. Does one count? Can we
Right.
Can we not do this?
There's just so many people cracking jokes. Even the cousin was cracking jokes. And
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, okay. Well, are we supposed like the beginning of it was just like, oh, okay, this is gonna be like kind of scary. They're gonna get into this hide and seek, hunting people down, kind of most dangerous game
Yeah.
kind of style thing, and they're just like all
there ain't
cracking
no
jokes.
here.
And a thing that I was kind of, I don't know if I'd call it it was just something I thought about is they did too much. Like I agree with what you said. It would have been better if there were like a group of them in different areas that kind of like video game levels or something of that regard. So like when she goes outside, just all of a sudden they're looking for her outside now. They've been inside this whole time, but now they're outside. I thought that was a little kind of weird. Why not have a couple of the lesser people or just a group of them outside looking for her? That way when she makes it outside, I was immediately like, just fucking run, bitch. Oh, that's why I can keep this. But
There was outside, then outside.
yeah,
Because she was outside the house, but then she had to get outside the grounds.
and I'm just like, just have a couple groups in different spots that she has to like try to overcome, and then at the end you get them all together, and then I don't know. That's just me.
They just sent the butler out to do it.
Yeah,
Butler did it, and then
the whole
they're all
time
just
I'm like,
sitting
why is the dad outside?
around- and they're all sitting around the camera going, the monitor going, oh, go after her! Someone do something.
You know where they? Yeah. But that was a kind of complaint that I was like, I feel like that would have helped a little bit with the something. But Dave, how do you feel about that he did? Just the comedic tones
I
or
don't hate that.
the outside, like, where you sitting? I've got the hiccups.
I don't hate that idea of having grouped up different and having her go from group to group section of the house trying to kind of get her way around. As far as that, the comedic effects of the show,
Do you want
I
a
like
technical
it.
difficulty screen?
Oh, I don't need it. I don't need it.
You're gonna live
I'll
with that?
accept.
You're gonna live with that? Okay.
I will live
Fair
with
enough.
it. Yeah,
Fair
put it
enough.
on the board. Um, I like it. I like the comedy. I like the balance. It's clearly not scary. I mean, what is these days? Like, there's really not much shit that's actually scary. Um, Here we get
Yeah.
some. I felt like some good gore effects and some good murder, entertaining. She seems like a good character, so I was rooting for her against this fucking family. Um, you kind of get a twist here. You get a twist. Spoiler alert with the husband. Like, he's helping her. He's helping her, and then he finds his brother dead, and that has just totally like no.
Yeah. I didn't care for that.
Yeah.
That really didn't make great sense to me.
That's would probably be my only complaint is how quickly he's able to shift.
I'm helping you,
But,
I'm gonna kill you, bitch. It was so.
He became
My
spineless
really
right
biggest
at the end.
complaint,
Yeah.
and my really biggest complaint with the husband is, if you love her so much, why did you even do this? I understand you thought maybe she wouldn't pull the card. Who fucking cares? I'm not taking the chance. I'm not taking the chance.
Mr. Statistics
So-
over here is really banking on that card not getting drawn. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
House
Also-
money and Mr. Bale, and allegedly he was the only one who had actually seen Mr. Bale. I think the aunt makes a mention of that. Like, he's the only one who's actually seen Mr. Bale sitting in the chair. Did he make it up, or was that real? I don't know. But if it was real, or if he believed it was real, then that is another reason of like, why would you even take this chance? Now, I do have a small theory for that, not the husband and his reasoning, but for why the card was drawn for Grace. If you want to go into that, it wasn't drawn for the other in-laws. Why? Because they're all pieces of shit joining a piece of shit family. It's Grace is the first good one. She's not for the money. She actually has a good heart. She actually likes people. She actually loves dude. I don't know his name.
Grace's husband.
Pardon.
Husband.
Yeah.
Mark. She actually loves Mark, and so she is in it for the right reasons. And so, if you're an agent of Satan, that's exactly the kind of person you want to bring down. You don't want to take a chance of good person coming in and influencing this family. Not going to allow that.
So if he
I think
didn't lose his spine at the end, you think he would have been left alive? It would have been him and her, or would he would still exploded because
No,
he's
no,
part
I
of the
think
family?
he's dead. I think he's dead.
I
Family-
mean,
this
he
family
didn't
has
explode till
Peter Pan.
she took the ring off. So he's like, I'm still here, and then she's like, I divorced your ass, and then
That's because the devil is nothing if he's not a showman. He's got a sense of timing like nobody's
Yeah.
business, baby.
you know a lot
So,
about the
he's
devil,
like,
Dave.
"Oh,
I thought we were having a intervention for Jeff at first, but you're really, really out there with the devil. You seem to know a lot.
Surprise, this whole thing has been an elaborate hoax from me and Jeff to make you think we're interventioning on Jeff, and we're interventioning on you, Chris. You need to join the dark side.
Okay. Can I still
So-
science? Is science still a thing I can do?
You can still,
Oh yeah,
science is the devil.
yeah.
And it's not the dark side like the devil.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the dark side like people who like dark meat chicken. That's what.
That's all I
stand
eat.
for.
That's all I eat.
Okay.
That's all I
Okay, you're
eat. I don't know what other food
That's
tastes like.
chicken.
Skittles,
Everything tastes
never
like
heard
chicken.
of them.
So you're already there.
That's part of the chicken.
Skittles taste like chicken.
Skittles.
We talked about Jeff. You talked about the effects for a second. I didn't like them until she got shot in the hand, and then it seemed like they got like a whole different effects team on board for
Yeah.
a while. Like that first, I forget even who it was that took the bullet at the not the beginning of the film, but when the hunt
Maid
begins.
who got shot in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That first kill. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's nothing I mean, it's blood and like some like dark colors and stuff, but like that, I was like, what is this? How come Dave can't pick no good effects movies? But it picked up,
It
got
did
shot in
get
the
better.
hand.
Yeah.
I think they didn't want to slam those first effects early in the movie. Let's ease people into what they're getting into because
Oh no,
it's got a light tone. It got a light tone. If you watch the trailer and you're coming to watch Ready or Not, I was not expecting the level of effect and gore that I got. I really was not. I
yeah.
thought, okay, this is gonna be something else, and that happens, and it really is kind of a for me the first time I ever watched it. It really is a little bit of a oh shit move. What
That
so I think
first
that was it. I
kill
think
with the maid, I was like, but then they showed the wound real close, and I'm like, I don't know about this, and it took me until she got shot in the hand, where I'm like, okay. And I swear I don't know if they raised the wages of the effects team or switched people, but then it became like good effects.
Budget it went to was her hand.
Yeah. And then when she's trying to climb up the ladder, I was like, are they getting rid of it? Yes, they are. And I was like, that's rad.
They kept showing the nail. It's like, oh, they're gonna go back to that.
It took me
her hand on it.
It took me a minute to understand that. I'm like,
they showed it.
And then I had to take my science pin out of my hat for a second because I'm like, I should have caught on to that a little sooner.
They foreshadowed that one good. It's like, okay, the nail's coming back.
But as it went on, there was some other effects that also weren't the best, but it picked up. It picked up there, and I was for it. Go for it.
I want to toss one question to the chat, and specifically to Mr. Tim Happens. Jeff is the explosives expert. Tim is our ballistics expert. Gun that first maid gets shot with is just a tiny little Derringer 2-shot pistol. It is not some high caliber round, and she gets shot in the skull. The skull is a lot tougher than you might think. I think it's movie over the top when a little gun like that just blows someone's fucking head off. I've seen these ballistic test videos on the TubeViews, and it's just.
Do you want a technical difficulty screen?
So
okay.
Tim Happens, if you're still in the chat, can you jump in? Can you give us a little a little wisdom here?
Now, when you said a little Derringer, is that like Rick Derringer from the 70s, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo?
It is a little rock and roll.
Because I think
a Derringer is a small hollow point, but we don't know that was a hollow point.
Would it leave a hole? Because the head didn't even have a hole.
I think it depends on it depends on so much, including the angle you get shot at. So I actually know somebody who was shot in the head, domed with a .22, and has a scar that went into the back.
Hold on.
Corner of his head.
Let's get the full. Mind Dave's pixels, but show us again more clinically. Turn to the side.
So, my friend Balky, not his real name. Yes, we named him after the Perfect Strangers character. He one time got shot by his brother with a .22, and it hit him in the head, and he had a scar that like you could see where it went in, and then just to the angle it skimmed along his fucking skull. Just he had a scar here, and then a scar here where it kind of ripped as it came out, but it did not penetrate his skull. Obviously, it did not kill him. We were in high school.
As the science man of Horror House tonight, I will say that's a lot like Kennedy's assassination, and but not quite, but different. But it may be because he's from where was Balky from?
It's made up.
It was a Eastern European country.
What? Oh shit! Maybe it's because you willingly transplanted him there in that reality that we currently lived in, and then because of that, his bone density got more of that Eastern European bone density, which we don't have in modern day America. And then that's how come the bullet trajectory of yes, Jeff.
He's from a fictional Mediterranean island of Mypos,
Mypos,
Mypos, which is said to be near Greece.
You willed the will of the Mypos people onto Balki's cranium density, and that's my clinical science opinion. That's how come. And you're welcome.
That's possible. The real island. I was gonna say. I think that might be a real island. No, Mykonos is the real Greek island. So.
Oh.
I better close these windows. It's getting pixely in here.
It's getting sketchy.
So I don't know. I don't have that big a problem with it as you do. So sorry, sue me.
I'm not saying it needed to be like complete blown up, but like when they showed, there was clearly no hole there. It was just dark colored. Like you got to give me a little penetration if you're gonna take me the full way, Daddy. Matt and Tyler.
Get shot in the eyes. Then we're not talking about skull.
But they had like a big color, big dark color right on the socket, which is no. That's like a bad decapitated head for me. Is when there's no like depth to the wound in a horror movie. You're doing me wrong. Sorry, we've been on the effect for a minute. The effect was really so fast that it didn't matter. But
yeah, it was literally on screen for but it is on screen for
they
2.5 or 3 full seconds.
They
which
clearly
is
show
eternity.
It. Yeah.
It is an eternity. So 2 seconds is a long time to show a wound in a horror movie. I'm with. I will give you that, but I don't mind. I mean, I thought the effects overall were good. I was waiting when she did the hand thing. I was waiting for like a tear or a degloving of some kind.
Yeah,
that we did not get. So it was speaking of exploding. So here's the way the family exploded in this is the same effect used in Abigail. Spoiler alert for Abigail.
Silence.
Spoiler alert for Abigail.
Me and Jeff can't leave, so we just have to suffer your spoilers.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. We are already. It's about vampires. When the vampires die, they explode like the family in Ready or Not. So that same effect is used to explode the vampires.
Okay.
So that's it. Dracula does make an appearance in the movie, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. A pretty good movie. And supposedly the connection that I could not catch, and I would probably have to watch it on home video and watch it a few times to catch. Supposedly the La Dumas family has a family portrait hanging. Family from Ready or Not.
Oh, okay.
They have a family portrait hanging in Dracula's mansion in Abigail.
Oh, okay.
Allegedly. I did not see it. I just heard this. I did not see it. So I will absolutely be buying this on the Voodoos as soon as it is available for purchase, and I will be watching for that again. So
right on.
So there you go.
I saw some people complaining about the Abigail trailer at the beginning, like, "Oh," and I was like, "This is I don't love the idea. I don't hate it. I'm intrigued by it. But I do want to see it. So maybe we'll get to that. Maybe we'll get to that by the end of this horror house season. Any other thoughts on Ready or Not. Story wise, makeup effect wise, if you want to talk about that wound some more, I mean, I'm down. I lost my pen when I pulled my headphones off. I don't know where my pen went. It went flying somewhere.
Lost her science superpowers.
I can't science no more.
In the private junk on the Discord, Chris, I did put. I don't know if you have seen it. Apparently, Mr. Bale does make a frame or two appearance in the movie. When you're watching the movie, you don't really get to see him. But I did put a picture in the private junk.
I had no idea
the
what the fuck
Frozen.
that was supposed to mean while I was watching it. I'm like, what did I not get here? So I don't know. Jeff, you're shaking your
Leaves
head.
open,
What do you think? How do you feel?
I think if you're talking about Mr. Bale could have an appearance in other movies. Maybe if he is a demon and he's going around making deals with the Dumas family, maybe he's making deals with other families.
So is Mr. Bale the devil? And he just made a deal with, their great grandpa or whatever.
Isn't that a demon? Baal?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
we just did half the work for him, Jeff.
Yeah.
I found my science pen. I'm a demonologist now.
Bale the demon. Got it. I was thinking Bale, Christian Bale, but
that's what I thought when in the private junk thing. I was like, what did it say? Hold on. Mr. Bell, single frame. Okay. But I saw that and I'm like, Dave, I thought you were sharing with Jeff like one of the Christian Bale's like what was it? It's fucking distracting. The rant or something like that.
That is great. That is great. It should be watched by everyone. Oh,
but that's what I thought it was at first.
LaBale is apparently an anagram for the demon Belial.
That was.
And Belial is a known demon. I think Belial even gets a shout out in the Bible. Jesus is like, to my homeboy Belial.
Pours one out for him.
Bring that.
His actual name was Kyle, but Jesus messed it up and didn't have a technical difficulty screen to like make people forget that that's quite what he said. And then, I mean, the next thing you know,
even worse.
It's in the Bible. It's in history. Is the Bible history? I don't
Maybe
know.
He was a nice guy, and his name was Kyle Belial, and everyone teased him so much he's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna be a demon."
That's
okay, Kyle Belial.
This Dave's new horror comedy.
I'm more interested in making that one. Can we do that one?
You can do Kyle Belial.
Yeah. Unless you guys have something else you want to say about the movie, let's get to our overall opinions and rate this bitch. I need a graphic that when I say rate this bitch, it's like bow, 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 and then it like big shaking and like frantic graphics. I don't know how to do that. If somebody wants to do that for free and send it to me, I'll give you a science pen. I'll give you this science pen.
Throw it at the screen.
With my hair follicles and everything all over it.
The pen won't be autographed, but Chris will sign an autograph with the pen before he sends you the pen, but you don't get the autograph.
This is a lot of rules that I'll never remember. How loud was that pen? That's probably very loud. Dave, you picked this one, so Jeff, why don't you go first this week and rate this? Give us just your overall opinion.
I mean, I feel like the comedy just overshadows the horror element they could have had. I mean, yeah, they could give some comedy to it, but I think they just favored it too much. So, I mean, I'd give it a 5. I mean, it was entertaining. It was the good script and everything, I felt like. but it just the
Are you
comedy was
not
just
entertained?
overshadows everything. It's like, okay, well, I just laughed through the whole thing as a comedy, maybe 6, but for horror element, it was just
I can agree with that. I will go next. Dave, you're going last because you picked up.
Okay. Okay.
I can't be science guy every night, every horror house, because I will lose one of my eyeballs. I just realized I got real close. But I like it was an interesting idea. Like, let's make hide and seek kind of like scary, but let's put a lot of jokes in it too. But overall, I didn't love it. I it looked really good. Like, it's shot really well, and I think it's shot too well for what it is, which is a goofy idea to even think about. But like, the cinematography, the way they shot things, it's like they went too hard with the visual thing there. It needed to be it needed a little bit of grit. And it didn't need to look like it's 1982 garbage slasher. Don't get me wrong, but like, they didn't need to go that much with
Shut
it.
your whore mouth. You shut your whore mouth right now.
But, and like, we already went over the effects. Halfway through, like, I wasn't that into it until about when she got shot in the hand. And then it did turn around for me. And then I'm like, okay. I kind of was a little too much, too soon, not enough, whatever. I'm in now. Because there was some good things. They needed some insects landing on her flesh when she was in that pit of bodies, because just CGI little specks, if they're not landing on you, because you know how bugs are. Everybody knows how bugs are. If they're not landing on the flesh, it ain't science. But
They don't even exist if they don't.
yeah, if you ain't getting stung by these things and they land, come on, science. But
flesh wound.
that's what I would have. They really needed some real bugs there. But still, I overall story, everything, all things considered, I'm not far off from Jeff. 5.5. I'm actually higher than Jeff somehow this week, which is
Flipped it.
Yeah.
I'm lower than you.
Jeff rates low. They always say. Jeff rates low.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's what the kids say.
Dave,
Dudes.
how wrong
What
are we?
You're quite wrong. What does Dave always try to tell young people? The primary purpose of this movie is to entertain. This is not meant to be scare. It is meant to have a chuckle. We have real horror in a funny movie. We have the beautiful Samara Weaving. I think she is beautiful. You got Andie MacDowell.
Oh
Come
yeah,
on,
I didn't
man.
even talk about her.
Yeah. Got all the Minaj family in here. You got Adam Minaj, Mark Minaj, Henry Minaj, Bob Minaj. Some of the family members were really funny. The chick that kept shooting people,
Yeah.
I thought she was funny. I thought she played that very well. The kind of clumsy, everyone else is paying the price for my mistakes thing.
Yeah.
The one husband, the kind of heavy set dude that is like
Family shit.
and he's like, let me go to the bathroom real quick, and he's watching YouTube videos about how to use his crossbow. I thought that was great. That's like, yeah, I could see that. I could see that happening. The butler being so into the fucking cult of this family that he's just, yeah, I'm gonna leave all my morals behind, and do whatever this family needs me to do. And I thought it was a great character. I didn't have the trouble keeping Dad and Bob Minaj and
That didn't
John
affect my
Minaj.
score.
I didn't have a trouble.
I'm just
Okay,
didn't have my science pen.
That. But it is entertaining, and when she decks the one kid, And then they have the gall. I wish they had just gone hard in the paint and blew up the kids on screen. But instead, like mom runs
Oh
into the next room with the kids, and
yeah,
you just have a gallon of blood blust in.
that's
Oh, yeah, go hard in the paint. Let's blow up these fucking kids on screen.
I mean,
I would have been there.
I was surprised when she punched a kid. I was like, holy shit!
That was pretty cool.
So
Yeah, that's pretty cool. She would have thrown him in the fucking pit or something when she got out. I don't
Georgie,
know,
I remember his
but
name
those
because he
kids-
was a little bastard.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
slow down.
the kid is probably, maybe his name is even an Easter egg to it. I don't know.
It's hard to be in
These
horror
little-
and call a character Georgie and be like, are you
Right.
talking, is that?
Yeah, I feel like that's what you're doing here. But I like this movie. I thought it was entertaining. And that's my number one criteria. So
Making a new word. Priority.
I'm giving Ready or Not, and its all-star cast of like 30 menages. I'm giving it
No
a
Nikki.
7.5.
Not Nikki.
No Nick. It's got every menage but Nikki.
Bob is my
So,
favorite menage. That is.
Bob is different. Yeah, I've got Trey. Trey is my favorite menage, but
No, honestly,
Seth,
we're not that. This is the closest I feel like we've all three been this season in scores. 5, 5.5, 7.5. Only two off. Well, 2.5 from. What's the average? Dave, you're the average man.
this gives us an average of 6 even. So at the end of the day, we come to right there where we like hang out at that 6 mark. At in our averages. So
666.
It really
6.
is. It really is leaning that way. Before we leave, before we are done streaming for tonight, next week is guest week in the Horror House. Jeff, your first guest. Are you super excited? It's time. It's time that you welcomed another guest. So you used to be a guest, and now you're here all the time. So
it's come full circle for Jeff.
It's
the circle of life.
In Tim forever, so it'll be exciting.
Is
that spoiler?
No, not at all. We will have our old buddy, our old good best buddy, Tim Happens on, who, if you've been watching the show, listening to the show for years, been on before. And we're going to be talking about the first season, or at least the first couple episodes, but we're going to try to do the first season of the Castlevania Netflix show, which I love the NES Castlevania games. And he's told me for years, I don't know how long, like, watch the fucking show or I'll stab you with your science pencil. And then that's why I have a pen now. You can't stab somebody with a pen. I'm pretty sure. I'm the science guy now. I think I know a thing or two.
Pencil is more dangerous. Pencil is more dangerous. When I was a kid, they told you if you got stabbed with a pencil, you'll die of graphite poisoning.
Did you also have a kid that was like right below here is a piece of lead? Got stabbed there. It's never come out. I think everybody had that kid. He's probably they're all probably dead by now. That's probably really what COVID really was, right? Let me take that out.
It's just person to person.
But that said, we will be back next week. Any final words? Anybody? Either of you? I'm gonna call on somebody. Jeff. Final words. Thumbs up. Dave. Jeff's final words. What did you think they would be?
If Jeff was giving you his final words, it would be, I can't wait. I look forward to talking to Tim Minaj about the Castlevania anime TV show and the Don't know. I'm assuming the protagonist is still Richard Belmont Minaj. Oh,
Richard or Rob Cherd?
is it Richard Belmont?
Bob is short for Rob Cherd, I believe.
Richter Belmont. Richter Belmont, I think, is the character in the games. Except for the game where you play Alucard, right? You get the powers and you.
Part 3, that was a great game. You got to switch between a few different people.
Yep.
I remember talking my
Was it
dad into
really-
buying that for me one day. That so rarely
I have
worked.
stories about. I have some stories about Castlevania, and specifically Castlevania 2, which was like when it came out, there was nothing else like it in America. So
And there hasn't been since. We will see you guys next week for some Castlevania. So play some games, watch some series, and we'll be back then. Everybody, fellas, did salute to Satan.
meet
I don't know.
meet us in the graveyard at midnight.
But which graveyard? Oh, God.